The National Assembly Secretary General, Madam Pingkham Lasasimma, told a press conference on Wednesday that the extraordinary session of the National Assembly is scheduled from August 5th to 10th, and during the National Assembly session, lawmakers will hear the government's report on the COVID-19 outbreak and measures imposed by the government to curb the spread of the virus.
กองประชุมสมัยสามัญเทื่อที่1ของสภาแห่งชาติที่9จะได้ไขขึ้นทางการในตอนเช้าของวันพฤหัสวันที่5สิงหาคม2021และจะดำเนินไปถึงวันอังคารวันที่10สิงหาคม2021
The National Assembly Secretary General told a press conference that amendments to 5 laws and other pressing issues will be debated at an extraordinary session of the National Assembly scheduled for next month. The amendment of the 5 laws is designed to support the 2 newly defined national agendas which have been put in place to tackle the country's economic and financial difficulties and drug abuse.
การปรับปรุงบางมาตราของกฎหมายจำนวน5ฉบับมีกฎหมายว่าด้วยการคุ้มครองสวยสากล
According to Madam Pingkham, drafts of the 5 amended laws are expected to be approved by National Assembly members on August 5th to 10th, excluding Saturday and Sunday, and relate to tech, value-added tax, income tax, excess tax, and drugs.
มันรับฟังการรายงานของรัฐบาล
The government's report on the 2 national agendas are also tabled for debate. The Cabinet's monthly meeting on July 26 to 27 agreed to amend some articles of the 5 laws before submitting the changes to the National Assembly. Officials say the National Assembly approval of the 5 laws is essential as they are required as a legal instrument and firm foundation for the government to implement the 2 national agendas. The national agendas were adopted by the Lao People's Revolutionary Party's Central Committee at an extraordinary plenary session convened from June 21st to 25th at its headquarters in Pingkham. The party's Central Committee has already agreed measures needed to address economic difficulties presented by the government. These include strengthening revenue collection, encouraging austerity, increasing the effectiveness of state investment, spending and debt repayment, and stabilizing the key. During the National Assembly session next week, lawmakers will hear the government's report on the COVID-19 outbreak and measures imposed by the government to curb the spread of the virus. The government is struggling to deal with the COVID-19 crisis due to the influx of workers returning from Thailand, where the virus is rampant. At least 30% of returnees have tested positive for COVID, with most having contracted the Delta variant, a highly infectious strand which have been reported in neighboring countries. Laos is vulnerable not only to the COVID-19 pandemic but also to climate change and natural disasters. Fluctuations in the currency exchange rates, rising inflation, mounting public debt, and rising prices of products in markets have all ramped up pressure not only on the government but on people's attempts to earn a living. Over the past 6 months, the amount of revenue amassed totaled 11.05 trillion kip, equaling 40% of the amount planned for the whole year. The projected revenue shortfall could result in the budget deficit rising from 3.9 trillion kip, or 2.17% of GDP, to 7.9 trillion kip, or 4.33% of GDP this year.